Here we are.
Let's see what we got.
Want to explain what happened first?
There was some debris on the road.
Debris?
At first, from a distance, I thought it was just like a retread, but quickly when I got up close, I realized it was a ramp from it fell out of the back of a pickup truck, like somebody would use to pull their ATVs or LUVs on and off of a pickup truck. And so it was big. It was big and it was metal.
And you ran over
how
it.
much damage we have. And I ran right over it because I wasn't going to be able to go left or right because it covered the whole lane.
Oh no.
Yeah, it took all the gray and black stuff, wiped it out.
Take this one.
Yep. Looks like the water line's in place.
Where are we at?
So far it looks like just the gray and the black tanks where the fittings were are ripped off. Other than that.
Is that really all that's it? Because that would be really easy to fix.
Yeah, I don't see anything else. I don't even think that the fresh is wrong. I think it just ripped off the actual fittings for the gray and the black.
I see we're just going to keep going home?
Well, yeah.
We're just going to Dave Matthews Band it the rest of the way home?
Well, it was empty. We just dumped everything.
Right, but I mean if we go now, we just let it go into the road like Dave Matthews Band?
No, we won't do that.
We have a bathroom break in Ohio, and I came across something that if I were just going to impulse buy right now just to comfort myself after the problem we've had with the trailer, this is what I get. Okay, are you in frame?
Yep.
All right, so before we got back on the highway, we took a second to just double check the tires. Joe had me drive really slowly so he could check.
Do a full rotation of the tires, make sure there wasn't a chunk out of them because this ramp that we ran over had big holes in it that were
like a cheese grater.
Like a big cheese grater.
He talked about
exactly.
it.
Yeah.
So we double checked the tires because we didn't want to get back up to highway speed and then find out there was a problem with that. But then once we got back on the highway, everything looked good. We get back on the highway and I was like, man, we probably should have checked the inside of the trailer because I pack really heavy with food. I just basically buy the fresh items when I'm on the road. So all I could think was my trailer's probably just covered in sauces and miscellaneous food items.
Yeah.
So we kept driving and we made our stop here in Ohio at a Love's. And while I took Irma to the dog park, Joe went inside the trailer. And I got back down and I said, how did it look?
The rumples were on the floor.
The rumples. The rumples are blankets that are made of a sleeping bag material. You can just set them on
super lightweight.
and they fly.
And they're slippery. Everything slides off a rumple.
So the concept that we went over this giant bump, it was rough in the Jeep. It was
probably going 55 miles an hour when we hit it too.
And it was probably rougher and I'm sure Joe! Did you ever try to do something and everything works against you? Nothing broke. That is amazing to me. And we are getting back on the road and we're going to continue our trip home and see as far as we can get tonight.
Feeling good too.
I feel good too. We've been listening to some crazy podcasts.
Wikipedia, Winds of Change, Scorpions, look it up.
Wikipedia. When I went to walk inside the gas station for a bathroom break, the woman in front of me turned around and she said, oh, where are we? I was like, we're in Ohio.
Ohio.
I walked in the door and I was like, I don't know if we're really in Ohio. I'm really not sure. And I'm going to be really embarrassed if she tells, because she immediately turns around to her friend and goes, we're in Ohio. And I was like, oh no, what if I'm wrong? So I looked to the employee and I'm like, hi, are we in Ohio? And the employee goes, we are. Okay, guys.
I'll stay in this lane.
Why?
Because I can't see out the mirror.
Oh, there's nothing. You can switch.
Oh, there is something.
Oh, shoot. This is actually the video that I hoped we would never, ever make. A lot of people ask us when we went to Canada, picked up a trailer, the Alto that we loved very much, but brought it back to the States, what would we do if we ever needed something fixed on it? And we have spent somewhere around 300 nights, I believe, in the Alto that we own in the last 2.5 years. And even with the lockdown that we had this year with the coronavirus, we've still managed to get almost 300 days in that thing. And we've never had any problems with it. Some people still go in it and ask us if it's brand new. So, today, we had an unfortunate incident, and we are now going to have to begin the process of having it repaired long distance. The border is closed, so we can't take it up there. But honestly, I'm kind of hoping that this sort of thing can be fixed without ever having to do that anyway. To be honest, it looks like it weathered it well enough that this can be fixed more locally than that. While we've been on the road, after this incident happened, I have already sent an email to the service department explaining to them what happened and sent them a short video showing the what we believe is the problem, but showing them the area so that they can see what happened, and asking for their guidance in how to get this taken care of as soon as possible. I used the service address that is posted in the Facebook group for Alto owners, so I felt that was the best service email to use. I got an automatic email response immediately that said, it was very broken English to be honest, and it said, they get a lot of emails. I love this company. We love this company.
Yeah.
We think their products are amazing, but this is going to be the real test of what it's like to get something serviced from out of country. It's pretty cool. All right, we are here with your week 1 update on our Alto repair. So it's been exactly 1 week since I sent a message to Safari Condo, and I sent it to the service address that they requested that I send it to. I have already told you about the automatic email I got, and Monday morning came. I woke up and I had a message that had arrived at 6 a.m. my time saying my video didn't work and they wanted pictures.
Johnny on the spot.
I was really
They were there.
impressed. I was like, ooh, we are going to get
This
this
looks
taken
promising.
care of so fast. So I sent pictures and wah, wah. I got a reply by noon that day that said, I've transferred your email to your technical advisor and he will get back to you. However, we have a delay of 4 to 5 days for return calls. We are living in a period of adaptation and we thank you for your understanding. Rest assured that we will do our best to serve our customers. Thank you and have a good day.
We too are living in a period of adaptation because we're having to adapt to living in our really nice home instead of our really nice camper.
I wasn't real super excited about this message. This is an email that someone is going to get and they're going to look at the email and then reply by email likely. And this is something, I mean, we are also in work situations, living through the same circumstances, and this is like ideal situation. If you are in a tricky time right now, someone on their phone could reply to my message. So I wasn't super excited, but I understood and I patiently waited this whole week. And it has now been 5 days.
It's time to drop the hammer.
No message.
It's time.
I guess we can wait through the weekend and see.
No, I don't want to wait through the weekend.
I don't think. What are the likelihood that they're going to be there at 4:30 on a Friday afternoon and you're going to drop the hammer?
Well, if you drop it now, then I think you're more likely to get a response Monday morning. Well, I don't mean necessarily, we don't have to call them. We could, but to send an email as a follow-up today, I think it'll be first on the list for Monday.
I don't have his email address.
Well, we have an email address.
It's, once again, the receptionist.
Yeah, well, I hate to shoot the messenger, but if you got it, you gotta.
Okay. Well, that's fair enough. We could just send a follow-up. I would call this a follow-up, not a drop the hammer. I have actually emailed with this person that I've been forwarded to once before years ago. The only time I've ever had to talk to service is because they sent us with a different crank for the levelers. And So it didn't work, and it wasn't working for anyone near as I could tell in the Alto community. So we contacted them, and they sent us a new crank. And honestly, it took longer than I expected that time.
It did take a little longer than expected.
Little bit different situation though, because
Pre-COVID.
well,
Didn't have
that's
anything to do
true.
with that.
That's true. That was years ago.
Yeah.
And it was also a different situation in that we could still use our camper. We had to use like a wrench.
Yeah.
It was not a fun process.
Certainly not.
But this, we don't have use of the trailer. Like, I'm not going to go out without a black and gray
No.
tank.
No, I wouldn't either. Might as well take a tent at that point. It's the same thing. There's a component piece for the valves. There's like a valve assembly. And though I'm concerned that it's not just the valve assembly that is shown on the website. They have a store on their website, and on the website there's this obvious valve assembly, and it's a valve assembly that was ripped off on ours. But I think that there's also some component pieces that must transition like a 90-degree turn to go back to the black and gray tanks. And so I'm hesitant to just get that assembly because then we're gonna have a second shipment of other pieces. I can't say that I took a note and inventory of exactly what our septic looked like before this, so I don't have a before. Unfortunately, I only have an after. So that's really why we need somebody there to guide us, to say that here's the pieces for the entire assembly. We'll put them in a box and send them to you.
And unfortunately, we have no use of our trailer until we have it resolved.
And
So.
it's nice. It's summer, so sooner the better.
For real.
Yeah, for real.
So it's been a week. That's 1 week. We've gotten nowhere, unfortunately. And we hope to have better news next week. We'll send a little follow-up email today. Just say, hey, it's been 5 days. I haven't heard anything. Could you give me an update? That's what I'm going to send. No,
There's the camera there, and then I think we just do
oh,
that.